You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Hey everybody!
Welcome.
This is Our Real Relationships, a podcast.
It sure is.
It is a podcast. I'm Brandon Cruz.
I'm Chelsea Cruz. I guess our relationship. It's not brother sister, even though some have wondered that.
You want me to guess, or you?
No,
want...
not you. I'm not talking to you.
Okay, you want the other people to guess.
Never assume I'm talking to you.
Okay. Yeah, well, this is a podcast where we talk about movies and movies and relationships. We should come up with like a standard.
Movies we love, movies we maybe don't love. We're just going to talk about movies in general with people that we love. Maybe we don't love them, but don't tell them that. But it's movies, our relationship to movies, our relationship with each other, our relationships with other people. You get it.
You're so good at this. You should host a podcast.
I'm gonna any day now.
Someday. And I want to quickly shout out all of our friends and family who are actually listening to this podcast, and they're giving us feedback, and they're listening in and this is something that we talk to our families about all the time. Like, we talk about movies, we talk about media, and so it's really cool to be able to like get a message from my father-in-law, your dad.
Yeah,
Chelsea,
he's that.
Just to be clear.
Thank you.
Or you getting a message,
or your brother-in-law. That's my brother.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
About,
and they have constructive criticism. They're not just calling and saying, "You guys don't do that. Stop.
Do not do that. Why are you guys still talking to each other?
It's not good.
Shouldn't you guys divorce at this point in time? Like that.
You'll know when that's close by the movies we watch.
Mitch, why are you telling me to divorce your daughter that way? But so yeah, we thank you all for that. If you want to get a hold of us, there's a few ways you can do that. You can always go to Bluesky, where we're at Our Real Relations. Our Real Relations.
No, relations sounds like we live in the Bible.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a character count for screen names. So Our Real Relations at .bsky.social, Instagram, Our Real Relationship. So I don't know. You can find us.
Just Google it. We'll be somewhere. But Our Real Relationships, which is not on the banner at the top of our screen right now.
It says ours. It says real still.
It does, but it should say Our Real.
Well, so I think I still have time to fix that.
There's time.
There's fishing in this movie that we're going to cover today. So I'm like, oh, there's a little loophole, a fishing loophole.
Okay. I was going to say, like, wait, because you're fishing for time to fix the banner?
I could be. But Chelsea, how are you doing today?
Doing so well. I got a new vacuum today, and I was a little upset because it would have applied so well to last week's podcast because it's a shark.
It's a shark.
We talked about Jaws. But no, it doesn't apply. I didn't get a backwoods hillbilly vacuum. I got just a shark. So I'm excited. I get excited about appliances.
That's right. And you got a new washer and dryer.
I did, and they look like the Batmobile version of washer and dryer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Not like the backwoods version of Batman.
Like somebody really loves me and cares about me and bought me a nice washer and dryer. Yeah. Do my undies, honey.
Thanks, Cindy. Shower.
No, Cindy Shower was the one who, when I told her, my washer is white and my dryer is gray, she said, "Oh, you poor baby." I know. It's like he doesn't even care. But he does.
I do. Yeah, I do. But yeah, no, I'm glad you have appliances to take care of me and the boy.
Mm-hmm.
That's your Mother's Day present.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it all to clean up the blood that I spill when I myrtleize everyone in this household.
Yeah. For Father's Day, I get actual presents and toys. So
he does. He'll probably get a guitar, whatever one he wants. He just buys it for himself.
Ooh, another $2,000 down the drain.
This is so fun. Our divorce is happening right now.
Right now, before we cover this movie, Chelsea, why don't you introduce the movie that we're covering this week?
All right. Well, we watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Woo!
It's a great comedy horror movie. It's kind of gory. It is rated R. But we still let our son watch it because we're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It came out in 2010. It was directed by Eli Craig, who, if you want to make a note, is also directing the movie coming out this year called Clown in a Cornfield with Wolf Finhard. No. Finn Wolfhard. No.
Is he in that?
Stranger Things kid. Yes.
He is in it.
He's either in it or he also co-wrote it.
I know because I thought he was in that camp movie. Is he in both of those movies?
Oh, I will IMDb that in a second.
Not they/them, but different.
No.
But so that side note of that Clown in a Cornfield movie.
I'm looking it up.
I wasn't super interested in that movie until I heard that Eli Craig was directing it.
Oh, really?
Who directed this movie? Yeah. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, you know what? Actually, I will give it a shot now.
Oh, this is a name you know, Eli Craig.
Well, no, I just love this movie so much. Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I'm so far off on the Finn Wolfhard thing. That guy's name is nowhere on Clown in a Cornfield. Sorry,
Craig.
Finn.
Sorry, Finn. But credit where credit's due. Good job for that one movie where you're at camp.
But I do want to see Clown in a Cornfield. I just don't remember why.
Because there's a clown
in a cornfield.
Your two favorite things, which is where you met me and we fell in love.
So, anywho, we've got Dale and Tucker, the main characters. Dale is played by Tyler Labine. If anybody doesn't know who that is, he was in a show called Preacher quite a long time ago, and he's been in hilarious things ever since. He's great. We love him.
He's great.
Then Tucker is played by mother-loving Alan Tudyk. He does nothing wrong. Am I right? Or am I right?
I don't know if he's done anything wrong.
Nothing.
In his entire life or his acting career.
He was King Candy in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. He was King Kong in
Probably he could be.
No, that was Andy.
Everybody, a lot of people might know him as being in Firefly as Wash.
Yep.
Killed it in that, and also died in that.
Yeah, he does die in a lot of movies that he's in. Because Serenity was like the sequel, was the movie version of Firefly.
Oh, he did not die until Serenity? No, he didn't die in Firefly?
He died in Serenity, the movie. So,
oh. Yeah. I'm so glad you're here to fact check me.
He was impaled.
He was. But not in Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
No.
Tucker and Dale are the heroes of sorts. I'll give you the quick rundown synopsis. Here's what it says on IMDb. Affable hillbillies on vacation are mistaken for murderers by preppy college students. And that's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Hijinks ensue.
Before we go too deep into the movie, one of the feedbacks that we got from family and friends was, you talk about this week's charity kind of like towards the end or towards the middle.
Oh, let's hit it.
Why don't you pop it out there right away so that we can think about it?
Whose suggestion was that? That's a good suggestion.
I don't know. A brother-in-law of mine.
Oh, I only have one brother, so it's got to be that one.
Oh yeah, Robert Shower. Thanks. Shout out to Robert for
thanks
the
to
suggestion.
Robert Shower at More Get You on Instagram.
And also, if you're looking at the overlay, you'll also see this week's charity, and you'll see Appalachian Voices, which is the charity for this month or this month. Well, it could be for this
week. Just tell us about Appalachian Voices. Some people say Appalachian. I will say each one, just to vary it up because I'm not confident. Appalachian.
Applechians.
Apples to Achians.
Dasmalchian lives in the
No, don't give money to David Dasmalchian.
So Appalachian Voices. We want to stick with themes for the movies that we're watching as far as charities go. Appalachian Voices, we're talking about all about hillbillies in Tucker and Dale versus Evil. But Appalachian Voices their vision statement is, we envision an Appalachia with healthy ecosystems and resilient local economies that allow communities to thrive. It was founded in 1997. They bring people together to protect the land, air, and water of central and southern Appalachia and advance a just transition to a generative and equitable clean energy economy.
So they're all about clean energy, environmental protection of the Appalachians, which I'm for. I'm for them.
For them.
We lived near green things when we lived in Arkansas, and they're beautiful, and we want to keep them that way. And we want to make sure that people who live there get clean water and clean energy.
That's right. Arkansas, as far as the mountains, and it's so
that's Ozarks.
It's it's Ozarks, but they might as well be the same.
Appalachia is more what? Carolinas and Tennessee.
Yeah, like
I could have looked it up.
South Virginia, something about like Deliverance. And
South
stuff like
Virginia.
That.
No, there's only West Virginia.
Yeah, South and northeastern Virginia.
Yeah, we got East Virginia, West Virginia, North Virginia.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so head over to
appvoices.org. appvoices.org.
All right, and then the before we get started too, the last thing we want to say, I have 2 drinks in front of Chelsea, 2 drinks to the side of me. One, I'm trying to stick with a theme for as far as drinks go. I meant to go to the store before we started recording, so I just used what little I had into one drink, which is a little bit of Whistle Pig rye whiskey. Since
I'm so nervous that you just slapdash poured a bunch of things in a cup.
Doesn't matter. We'll make it through, drunk or otherwise. So a little bit of Whistle Pig, a splash of grenadine.
Grenadine goes in everything at the cruise house.
A little bit of potato vodka.
Okay.
And also a little bit of honey. I put a little bit of honey in there and some key lime. But the honey is in there because obviously there's a kill with bees.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Mm-hmm. And I kept it with the red because there is blood. That
that's the grenadine. That's why there's gonna be grenadine in any horror movie we do.
Yeah, or cranberry juice.
Is there an order in which we should drink these? There's a clear one and there's a red one.
And the second one is a very standard whiskey tonic or tonic whiskey, whatever.
Whiskey tonic, I would say, but it's very
vodka. No, sorry,
I was going to say it's very clear for whiskey.
Vodka tonic.
Okay.
I ran out of whiskey. No, vodka tonic using potato whiskey from the
vodka,
Midwest.
Potato vodka.
Fuck.
Oh, there's the number one F.
Well, cheers.
Cheers to you.
To the
this one is a vodka tonic. Everyone knows how to make that. You put some tonic in a glass and then you drink vodka out of the bottle.
That's right. And then the second one is the Tucker and Dale versus Evil random ass drink that I don't know if it's going to be good because I haven't tried it yet. Oh, that's not too bad. It's strong.
It's so good.
Chelsea doesn't usually drink whiskey.
It's so whiskey-ish.
Or vodka. She doesn't drink vodka or whiskey.
That's not true. Vodka's my jam.
All right. So let's get into this. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. So it came out in 2010. I think we saw it pretty much right around 2010. Like when
it's been out 15 years. I want to say we've seen it at least once a year. We watch this movie. It is a killer movie. What? I came up with that just right now.
I think as we're going through these movies, we're going to find movies that we like. They're like comfort watches. Like I said that about Jaws last week. This is like another one of those ones. Like I could pop it on. I know what it's going to be about. I know that I'm going to be able to fall asleep to it. Is this in that category for you?
No, because I want to watch it. So I probably could fall asleep during it. Because if we're late enough at night and I'm like, oh, I know what happens, I can fall asleep. But I kind of like watching what happens, so I would probably end up staying awake.
Got the all of the actions that are happening in the movie. You're like, yeah, I know what's gonna happen, but damn it, this is like Romeo and Juliet. I know they're gonna die.
It's kind of a brilliant movie. There's nothing like it that I know of where these hillbillies are going to they bought a fixer-upper in the woods. And so they're going to do that. And then this group of college kids comes in. They think the hillbillies are evil. And I don't even know how to explain it in a great way, but in their efforts to rescue their friend that they think is being held hostage by these hillbillies, they start dying on accident. They start accidentally killing themselves all over the place. So when death is funny, that's where you get me. That's the sweet spot.
Oh my gosh, let's kill some more people. It's hilarious.
Let's talk about some of those funny deaths. What kind of deaths we got?
The very first death we see is the kid, right? The kid going up to the cabin, and then Tucker chainsaws into a bee's nest.
Oh yeah, he is sawing through a log. He accidentally saws into a bee's nest, and so he starts running like crazy with his chainsaw, and the kid thinks he's chasing him.
And so the whole thing is, I mean, to take a step back, like the first introduction we see of Tucker and Dale, like we see them from the perspective of the college kids, like right away. It's
open mouth breathers, beer in hand, overalls, no shirt, just really judgy of these creepy hillbillies.
Yeah, and you're for folks who have watched horror movies, are aware of Deliverance, like you're immediately thinking like, oh, like yeah, these characters, there's something sus about them, right?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, nice 2025 term.
Yeah, thanks, kids.
Get it, 42-year-old.
And you know, like you even think about like Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, like the kids stop by the convenience store, and there's like an old curmudgeon who's like, you shouldn't go up there. They'll bring you nothing but death.
Oh, the standard curmudgeon.
Same thing with Cabin in the Woods, which Dexter would really want.
We're not gonna watch another horror movie for next week, though.
For a while. But so that's like the first glimpse we see of Tucker and Dale, and so we're almost like put in their POV, right? The college kids' POV right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then up until you see them in like the first stop in the gas station or the liquor store, when they're actually they're like
when you start learning their personalities a little bit more.
Yeah,
they're so endearing and charming. They're just regular old people.
They just bought a house a vacation house.
God damn, Tucker got our own vacation home. Oh, I can talk like that the rest of this time.
I'm just so happy. I could cry.
It's a mansion. I love it.
And so then when it like starts transitioning into now we know that the college kids, the viewer POV isn't for the college kids. It's through Tucker and Dale's eyes. They are the titular characters. Then we start seeing like how cool they are and how nice they are and how crazy the college kids are acting.
Right. Particularly one. And of course, his name is Chad, because we all know a Chad. This particular Chad, played by Jesse Moss, who was in Final Destination 3. He was a nice guy in Final Destination 3. He was, that was on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
And he was the boyfriend that tried to get off. His girlfriend got off the roller coaster, and he tried to get off to be with her too, but they wouldn't let him off. So he was a good guy in that, but boy, does he play a good psycho. I mean, I just got the heebie-jeebies watching him. It was like a combo of like Tom Cruise and both Francos. I just couldn't. Yeah, it was giving me some real "Don't Touch Me" vibes.
Yeah, one of the Francos, especially when he's trying to make out with the main actress, like the protagonist.
The main actress is named Allison, played by Katrina Bowden, who everyone might best know her as Siri or Suri. Does she play Suri in 30 Rock? I don't know. It's not Siri, or am I
she's
just?
She's in 30 Rock.
She's in 30 Rock as the real cute tiny blonde. And guess who she plays in this movie? Real cute tiny blonde, and she is cute, and she is tiny, and she is blonde.
It's like it's one of those things where like you can't. Sometimes you don't want to glare, but you're like, God damn,
the
look at
low-waisted jeans she was wearing that were folded over were the lowest low-waisted jeans I have ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I see your chooch crack? I'm definitely saw her butt crack.
Chooch crack, is that like?
That's how low.
Okay.
That's how low.
Because that's
below the V.
Men have nut gutters, right?
Right.
So is like
just like towards the lower end of a nut gutter is a chooch crack.
Okay.
And I was so nervous that hers was gonna pop out of there, but it didn't. She had her jeans glued on. She musta.
She musta. Every time she got hit in the head with something, She must have like
they had to reapply that chooch glue.
Chooch glue.
Man, she's cute as hell.
Yeah.
And so she's so cute that it's like, oh, maybe she's snobby. Her other college preppy friends are snobby, but she's not. She's down to earth. She grew up on a farm. She can dig a outhouse hole. So that's what everyone wants, right? The virgin and the whore all in one. Perfect.
And I got you, baby.
You did. Here's my chooch crack.
Yeah, she's part of the college kid collection at the start. She turns into the one who understands Tucker and Dale and what they're really trying to get after. A bunch of misunderstandings, but even she at the start is afraid of Tucker and Dale.
Well, she wakes up from being unconscious in a crappy ass cabin, and this hillbilly. I don't even know if that term is racist. Now that I'm saying it so many times, I'm starting to feel bad for saying it.
A little bit, yeah.
This Appalachian guy, is that? I don't know. This guy, this man, he's kind of burly, and he's there with her, and she doesn't know why he's there or she's there. So she is afraid until she realizes he's bringing her pancakes.
Yeah,
he's the best.
Oh,
he's the woman dream. He's a dumbass himbo.
Yeah, which is why you married me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she doesn't like pancakes because she is afraid of them.
That's what he thinks.
We're not going to talk about the other college kids because they're all just basically cannon fodder, really.
Can we talk about a couple? One is played by Brandon J. McLaren, and he was in the Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was also in Harper's Island, if anybody remembers that show.
Yeah, but he wasn't in like the Power Rangers that everyone knows.
No,
like,
not the old school.
He was like Power Rangers Turbo or something like that.
Yeah.
Was he?
I don't know, but like in the 2000s for sure.
Yeah. The Power Rangers, that doesn't matter. Like Rita Repulsa's gone.
Oh my God,
Lord Zed
nerd.
is not around.
Nerd. No, say all the names you know from Power Rangers.
Zordon.
1.
Alpha.
2.
Billy.
3. Oh, Billy. Amy.
Green
no,
Ranger.
Amy Jo. That was her real name, Amy Jo Johnson.
Oh, Amy Jo Johnson. Yeah. Oh, she's still beautiful. You know,
Aww.
we love Amy Jo Johnson.
We'll watch
here
the
on
Power
podcast.
Rangers movie one of these times.
Yeah. Can we watch her naked?
Oh my.
Hey.
Leave her chooch crack alone. And then there's a character named Chloe, and she's played by a woman whose first name is spelled Chelan. And it could be Chellin, could be Chelan, could be Kellen.
We apologize ahead of time.
I didn't look that up. But her last name is Simmons, or Simons, or Simons, or Simonis. Anyway, she is also in Final Destination 3. She dies in a tanning bed. So she's the big tits of the movie. That's every standard horror movie has some jubblies, and she has a couple.
Yeah, I want to do like a real quick aside about Final Destination and some of those actors that have gone on that were in other things. So like we were watching Supernatural, which was on the CW. It's over now, but like in those first couple seasons, I saw a lot of similarities from actors that were in Final Destination that were also in Supernatural.
Which one did they do first? They must have done Supernatural first, and then moved on to Final Destination.
I think that's the rotation that they did, and I wonder if Chellin and the guy
Chalon
and the guy who played Chad, I wonder if they were
Jesse
in
Moss
Supernatural at all either.
I can look at it if you can vamp long enough, or I can look it up and we can put it in later.
Was this as Jim Carrey vampire?
Oh gosh, you better vamp better than that. I don't know.
Oh, that's First Bitten. Once Bitten.
Once Bitten is a great movie.
But you know, it's as we're going through these episodes of the podcast too, and we'll get back into Tucker and Dale. Like, what is super interesting to me, I know it's interesting to you, Chelsea, is like how tied people are to directors and writers and
horror, like genres.
Yeah. And like people who they were a second string gaffer. Is a second string?
All right, so Chalon Simmons, you said she did guest star in Supernatural. You said you recognized her from that, or you were wondering that?
I was wondering if she was in Supernatural.
She did, and also Smallville.
Oh, okay, another CW show.
All right, keep vamping. Go.
Okay, but like there's so many. There's a reason that a 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon is a thing, because there's so many people in the in movies that are tied to each other, that like if you are fun to work with, or you're good to work with, then of course you're going to want to work with them again. And we see that through some of these movies that we really like. So
Jesse Moss was indeed in an episode, at least one, of Supernatural.
Yeah,
I did that as quick as I could, so I don't have the deets. All I know is yes. The answer is yes. They were in Supernatural.
6 degrees of Final Destination.
Well, when you get shows like that, like Supernatural, or shows like, I'm going to go old and non-horror, but like Columbo or Twilight Zone, or where there's so many different episodes, and so they have so many cast members, you do have lots of overlap.
Sure. All right. Well, I think that what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back from the break, we're going to talk all about more of Tucker and Dale vs. Evil and whatever other tangents we get on.
Well, when we come back from the break, we should maybe talk about Dexter.
We could talk about him. We could talk about it right now if you want.
All right. Well, let's talk about it when we get back.
Okay. All right. After this.
Bye.
And we are back after 26 minutes. You know what
That's
is
a perfect break time.
What is 26 minutes? So last week what we did was we kind of interspersed some Dexter stuff in here, talking about Jaws. And if you want to hear all from Dexter about Jaws, there's a bonus episode. Please go check that out. We haven't talked to him yet as of this recording. I'm going to talk to him after this.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably could put it right here.
We could put it anywhere in here. How about let's do it right now? And then we sat down with Dexter and talked to him about Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and here's what he had to say.
At the very start of the movie, did you remember, or did you feel like, oh, the hillbillies are the bad guys?
No.
You knew right away.
Yeah, because I remembered enough of it that I remembered like they were the good guys.
No. Okay. Last question for you, for me to you. Overall, how do you think about the movie, and would you recommend it to one of your friends or teachers?
I don't think it is.
Yeah, teachers. Very nice.
Yeah. But how did I think of the movie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a really good movie. I did think it was very funny. I did laugh a lot. And I thought it was a good movie overall. I would maybe recommend it. Not sure. I don't usually recommend movies.
What kind of friend or family member would you recommend it to?
Probably. I don't know. I feel like this movie could be for like everybody. For like all ages, except the ones that you can't show blood in front of.
Yeah, or the random boobies.
Wait, there what?
Okay.
I didn't remember that.
Note, everybody, that Dexter did not see the boobies. He's not there yet. Go back to timestamp 24/7.
24/7. 247 minutes.
Yeah, and 27 seconds. Okay, and then
you saved it down somewhere.
Yeah. If I had a DVD, it would just only be to that part.
Okay.
And now we're back.
And that's how that works.
From doing that. Just a little taste of our kid, our Spawn. So
poor kid.
Poor K. So speaking of Spawn, right? Like
I've never seen it.
No, so like part of the plot here is that the Chad guy, right? Tucker and Dale, they're innocent hillbillies. They're just trying to do the summer house. There's all the kids are doing a suicide pact.
Yeah. Every time we say hillbillies, it hurts me a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google some alternate terms for hillbillies while you do your thing.
So all that's happening. All the college kids are trying to save Allison, even though Allison, or Allie, as her friends call her, doesn't need to be saved. But Chad is just a fucking psycho. And he just gets more and more psycho.
Like I said, Cruz plus Franco, guys. Plus a bit of Charlie Sheen. Like, oh.
You are a Cruz, Chelsea.
All of the probably dropped a pill in your drink guys that I can think of.
In some of the scenes with him, as when he's going kind of like psycho, and he's like, he was telling Challen, like, maybe you don't deserve to live. And the Power Ranger guy's like, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, he was so great. There was a part where he shot something, or he threw an axe right past Brandon J. McLaren. He plays Jason, Power Ranger guy. Right past his face, said, "Dude, that's my whole face." His whole face, and it's a pretty face. Yeah. We don't want to mess it up.
It is a pretty face. So Chad's whole thing is that he doesn't want to call the cops. He wants to take care of these hillbillies himself. He's very adamant that hillbillies are bad because what we find out in his backstory is that on this day, 20 years ago, there were some college kids out in the woods.
The Memorial Day Massacre.
And these random hillbillies came, massacred them all, except for one person who got away, which was his mother. And then the big twist at the very, say big twist, but the twist.
Spoilers.
Okay. Spoilers.
Go ahead.
At the end, you find out that Chad's mom was raped by one of these hillbillies, and Chad is actually hillbilly by blood.
Does he know it? I didn't catch that. If he realized that he was half hillbilly,
he realizes it at the end.
Okay,
but he's like, well, then I'm just going to lean into being the psycho.
He sure does, man. His collar's popped and everything. It's ridiculous.
Was his collar popped at the beginning?
The whole time.
Okay. All right.
The whole time. Bright blue. Super 80s color of collar.
Okay.
Collar color.
What do you want to say? I have a direction I want to go, but what do you want to say?
I do. I have a couple terms for you instead of hillbillies. Overalls enthusiasts, maybe.
Okay.
But if we want to be respectful, you could say working class rural Americans.
Okay.
That's a lot of syllables. If you want to just make up some words, we go scruffy lumber folk. Of course, we could say yokels and bumpkins. That doesn't make me feel good. So woodsman, I feel, is maybe the nicest thing. Frontier types.
Okay.
Or DIY outdoorsman. Overalls enthusiast takes too long to say, but
yeah. Of those, which would you if you had to pick one of those?
Fucking Hicks. No,
you didn't say that one.
That's so terrible. No,
you can't pick that one anyway.
Mountain folk.
Scruffy mountain folk, is that the one? Scruffy lumberjacks.
That was scruffy lumber folk. Lumber folk. What is it? We don't know if they're doing anything with wood.
No, but there is
a wood chipper.
They do find themselves with a wood chipper, and also at the end of the movie, they're in a lumber yard type of thing. There's a saw there.
Yes. All right. Take your direction and use one of these terms going on.
Okay.
Go.
So the scruffy lumber folk that we see throughout the movie, they're in some awkward situations. They try to talk themselves out of these situations that they're trying to rationalize. Why is this stuff? Why are these college kids killing themselves all around them? What are some of the parts that really jump out at you? I feel like
there's so many. There's so many, but obviously my favorite thing. This doesn't answer your question at all. But it's my favorite line of the whole thing. Tucker comes in. He sawed through a log that had a bee's nest in it. He was attacked by bees, and his face looks god awful. just so pussy and lots of large welts and everything. And so he walks in and Dale says, "What happened to your face?" He goes, I saw through a bee's I saw through a bee's nest. And Dale says, and he laughs when he says it. Why? Why'd you do that? And he's like, well, I didn't do it on purpose. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
And that didn't answer your question.
No.
But I love it that they're like, it's a suicide pact. We got it. That's what they're doing. They're killing themselves on our property. It's a suicide pact.
So I'll say that Alan Tudyk is like some of his reactions. I think this time watching him, I was more attuned to it of like how funny
his reactions.
He was. His reactions, yeah. Not just what he was saying, but also just like
watch him when Dale is talking. Who would you say is the straight man if this were a comedy duo?
I would say Tucker.
Alan Tudyk
is a straight man.
Yeah, I guess so, because Dale kind of lends himself to being, he's a little bit rounder and got that like round comedy. Like he's the Hardy, he's the Costello, there's like a tall skinny guy and a little round guy.
Yeah. So, but I'll ask this question because I don't really know, and maybe it's something we can explore briefly. But like the straight man concept, right? I laughed more at what Alan Tudyk was saying as Tucker than I laughed at Dale. Does that mean that
can be the case?
Tucker
I think a lot of times people are drawn to the straight man comedy of it. The flat face reaction to something that's so ridiculous, or those little subtle facial tics when someone says something that's maybe not super great. Dale's trying to explain to the cops why the kids are all dead around their property, and Tucker just keeps like grabbing him on the shoulder like, oh, okay.
No, she's unconscious.
Stop talking.
She's inside unconscious. She's in my bedroom.
So I think it just is a personal preference whether you think the straight man is funny or not. And in this case, he's kind of manages to play both.
Yeah, I say so.
Such is Alan Tudyk's talent.
So talented.
Like in Dodgeball, when he's the straight man, Pirate Steve.
Because we talk about this being a horror film, it is classified as a horror film primarily, but it's also it's a horror comedy, right?
For sure, to me.
To me, I think a lot of people would who are not generally horror folks might enjoy this more because they're like, oh look, it's making fun of or teasing.
Oh, I agreed with you too soon. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You don't agree with that. I said right, thinking you were going to say something else. Because I was going to say, if this was maybe the first horror movie at all that anyone who hated horror movies was watching, it would be a bit gross for them, I think, a bit too much, and I don't think they'd be able to focus on the comedy. The horror bit would be too strong, especially when it does get a little bit serious every once in a while. But I think the comedy is there for the horror fans, people who are already horror fans.
Okay. Yeah, I
check out my horror fans.
Oh no!
At Chelsea's a horror.
I love you so much. I would not subscribe to
ChoochCrack.com.
ChoochHorror.com. Yeah, because like I think of the people that we know that are not horror fans at all. Like Bob Carroll is
a lot of people.
Bob Carroll's like,
Matt Sizemore.
I'm afraid of that trailer of that horror film.
I thought you were just gonna say that trailer on the side of the road is scary. I'm afraid of it. It looks like it could be in a horror movie. And
Bob
that makes
Carroll
me scared.
does not like hillbillies. Lumber.
Don't call them that.
Folk.
They're cabin dwellers or rustic locals.
But like, I wonder if horror comedy in general, like I think of like Shaun of the Dead too.
Mm-hmm. Not Shaun of the Dead 2.
Shaun of the Dead
Although
as
we
well.
wish.
Yeah.
Slither,
yeah, like those horror films that, yeah, they're horror. They have those horror aspects, but they're also
they're mostly horror. Let's say they're
lean
like
into comedy too.
70-30 horror comedy.
Yeah, I should ask Sizemore about Shaun of the Dead. Like, if he would watch that with comedy in mind, or if he was like, no.
I wonder if it matters if he watches it on mute, because then you're not hearing any of the comedy. You're just seeing like, ah.
Oh yeah, good point.
And then Matt Sizer will go, oh, you asked for it. I'm scared of this.
God, I'm not putting that as our intro. Maybe for horror episodes.
What a wuss.
So of all the characters, right? You have Tucker, you have Dale, you have the college kids. Who really speaks to you as far as like a character goes? Like who's
okay,
the
well,
heart of the story?
I'm a Tucker. I think I'm an Alan Tudyk. I'm trying to like get a thing done, and I am not dealing with the nonsense around me very well. But I love me a Dale. I wish I were a Dale. He's just got the sweetest heart. I'll rip those overalls right off him. God, he has a tattoo on his arm that I am dying to know what it
sex
is.
With him right in front of me?
No.
Look, just because I wanted Amy
We're
Jo
to the
Johnson
side. We're to the side.
doesn't mean. Yeah, his tattoo. You pointed it out.
It looked like one of those, if you look at it this way, it's an old lady. If you look at it this way, it's a young lady tattoos. But I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
It's driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Call to action. Tell me what it is
sure.
and if it's real.
If so, you think you're more of a Tucker.
Yeah.
Who do you think I am? You think I'm
You're
like
the
one
the
college...
Power Ranger.
You think I'm one?
That was my whole face.
You think I'm the college kid that like got in the truck right away and then went to go get the cop?
No. Let's see. Who are you? Because actually, if we're talking about all the characters, I'm that big-tittied, stupid woman trying to tromp through the woods in her hooker heels. It's like, you guys, trying to light her cigarette, and you're like, I'm covered in blood.
Who is also the only person that shows nudity in this movie towards the beginning in the lake.
Gotta be proud of them jugs.
Yeah, definitely fake. And definitely large. No, they're fake.
They are, but
I
who
examined
cares?
them. I paused it.
I'm just saying, like you said, it was such judgment. Like,
no, they're fake.
All right, who cares?
They're fake, and I'm gonna go back and look at them again.
They were
just
done
to make sure.
well. She probably floated from one side of that lake to the other, no problem.
Shout out to the Chellen's boobs.
Both of them.
Okay.
I don't know. Who do you think you are?
I'm probably the cop.
Because he's the only Hispanic guy in the whole thing.
I do look mostly like that cop right now.
He looks like a relative of yours.
He does. He definitely does. But just like okay, let's see what's going on here. Oh, looks can be deceiving. And then he leans on the the beam that has the nails coming out.
I don't know. I feel like you're probably Dale. You have such a sweet, innocent heart, and you don't mean anything negative, but people are probably like, whoa, what's wrong with you? And you're like, you don't like pancakes? Okay. I think you're probably more Dale with your precious little heart.
Thanks, honey, and that's why you're still so attracted to me.
But you look like Alan Tudyk.
Am I really? Oh, I forgot to put on my Viagra Boys hat.
Pause.
Pause. Okay, so overall, like, when was actually? Tell me about this. Like, do you remember the first time you saw this movie?
Not specifically. No. Do you?
I don't. This is one of those movies that, like,
I just feel like it's always been with us.
We watched it and we enjoyed it so much. The first time we saw it, and then it just became like a staple in like references.
We don't have the DVD though, do we?
No, we don't.
Which is crazy to me. So we had to
call
rent
to action.
Send us a DVD. We had to rent it. It was available on Apple Plus for $1.99, but for some reason, someone, I'm pointing to Brandon, couldn't figure out like he got aggravated with the remote. So we ended up paying $3.99 on Google play or whatever it's called. I don't know. So it's not available for free streaming at the moment or for borrowing from the cruise house because we don't have the DVD. But I do feel like we should buy it. I don't know why no one's buying DVDs anymore. It's probably costs only 60 cents.
Physical media. You get your physical media. One thing I want to do, very, very much a side note, I want to start archiving all of our DVDs and our Blu-rays.
I'm for it.
So that means I have to probably buy another like $12,000 worth of equipment so we can get a network server, and then start doing our own Plex stuff.
That's okay. And then the mess you make, I'll vacuum it up with my brand new Shark vacuum.
Woo! All right, Chelsea. So final thoughts. Like overall, how do you feel about this movie?
Oh my God, so many chicken buckets for this movie. You have got to watch this movie. It's as iconic and imperative to watching as Jaws. I feel like anybody who watches this movie will love it.
I agree. Even if you're not a horror fan, if you like comedy, I think you'll enjoy this. You'll enjoy it way more than that one Broken Lizard movie, a Club Dread.
Oh gosh, yeah, probably.
I don't know why I referenced that, but I'm like, that movie wasn't great, except the one guy in the banana costume running through the maze.
Oh my gosh, you know so much about it for someone who doesn't like it.
I saw it in the theaters.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, Super Troopers, that was really good.
I saw Austin Powers in the theater, and that was a trip because you did not know what to expect. And so then by the time you left there, you're like, what did I just watch?
Yeah, that's how I felt about our latest segment, Movies We Saw in the Theaters Recently. Brought to you by Brandon Cruz and Chelsea Cruz.
Brandon only, because Chelsea doesn't know about it.
Yeah, I want to take you to see Thunderbolts. But before that, my dad and I, this last week, we went and saw the Cheech and Chong's last movie, which is not. It's not.
Is it a documentary?
It's not really a movie. Yeah, it's a documentary mostly. They do have some like kind of thematic scenes where it's obviously scripted. But for the most part, it's all about the life of Cheech and Chong, how they came together, their childhoods, and so it was really interesting hanging out with my dad to go see the movie. They had a special thing on 420 that you could go. They had a special preview.
Why?
On 420.
What is that day?
I don't know.
It was Easter.
It was like a murder thing, I think.
I think it was Catholics.
I think it's like the code for Catholic murder.
If anything, it's Catholic necromancy. Isn't that where you raise people from the dead?
I was thinking of the movie Necromantic.
I didn't say necrophilia. I
Necromantic.
said necromancy.
So they had that on 420, and I was joking about it with my family. I was like, "Hey, you guys want to go see the Cheech and Chong documentary tonight?" And then my dad was like,
"Hell yeah!"
Sent me a message at like 8 o'clock that night. I was like, "Yeah, let's go." Like
PM.
He
texted you in the PM.
Yes. Like, we can try to go, but it's not going to happen. He's like, well, let's go Thursday. I'm like, all right, it's a date. It's a father-son date. So yeah, we went out there. We saw the movie, watched the documentary. A lot of interesting things about Chong. A lot of interesting things about Cheech that you already kind of know about because he's from Granada Hills. And
some of us fancy people are from Granada Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us made it. Some of us do podcasts.
And just like how they came together, and it's always interesting to me about in industry and entertainment, like how serendipitous meeting like people's experiences are to get them where
it's
they go.
crazy,
you know. So I thought that was really cool. And then after the movie, after the documentary, driving home, my dad was just talking about when the first time he'd heard of Cheech and Chong. And so it's just kind of a bonding moment. He was only like he's born in 59. The first I think album came in like out in like 69 or something like that. So he was very young.
Oh yeah.
His cousins are the ones who like, hey, check out this record. Like,
and his mom was like, oh, bad influences on my son.
Yeah, and his dad's like, shut up, I'm at work. And just like him sharing that memory with me was really, really cool. And
that's so nice.
So yeah, anyways.
I had a root canal that day, so I I don't know any of the things you're talking about.
Yeah, I had lots of popcorn in memory of.
I'm so
of
glad you had
your
a good
tooth.
day. Our lives are so different.
Yeah. How is your tooth?
It's there. It's got a canal running through it.
It's a tooth of Venice. All right.
It's like
well,
the Merchant of Venice.
Well, Chelsea, I want to say thank you for hanging out with me. Is there anything you want to say to the masses?
No, just watch this movie and go to appvoices.org if you would like to help clean water, clean energy to the Appalachians. And if you want to hear a little bit more from Dexter, you have to go on and listen to Dexter's full thing. It's short. He's only 13. He can't. His attention span is short. He'll give you his vibe on it for your 13-year-old kids and tell you if it's worth it or not for your kiddos.
Yeah.
And thank you to all of our families who listened, our families and friends. And Jeff.
And Jeff.
Jeff Talley won.
Ooh, there it is.
Got it.
I don't know if he listened to the last episode. I haven't talked to him about it.
Oh, what a jerk. Oh, and hopefully we'll have Travis on soon.
Yep.
He's told us maybe we'll be watching Pitch Perfect for our Travis episode.
Cups
so
songs.
if you want to talk about Pitch Perfect, this would be the perfect time to do it.
If you know Anna Kendrick, please let her know that we're going to talk about her.
He's hot stuff too.
How are you? How can people hit you up, Chelsea, on social medias?
I believe I'm on Instagram, and I think it's Chell to the Sea, SEA. Like Chelsea is SEA, but it's Chell to the Sea Cruise. But I don't know. Just go to Brandon's and then see who he's friends with, and you'll see me there.
Yeah, there you go. I'm at Barnyard Cruise, and then we are at Our Real Relationships.
I have not even as many followers as like my dad does. My dad told me just recently, I've got 239 followers. And I looked at mine. I was like, that's way more than me.
All right. So you've heard
and my dad's done stuff and I have not done stuff.
You've heard the call to action. You need to make Chelsea way more important than her father, Mitch Shower.
No. That's not the plan.
You know what? If you're following Mitch right now, stop following him. And only follow Chelsea. Chelsea to the Sea.
Chell to the Sea Cruise. You'll find it. Figure it out.
And you know what? Report Mitch.
Oh my God.
Don't do that.
Get him kicked off Instagram.
Yeah. And me kicked off the porch. He'll never let me in the house again. Anyway, Chelsea.
Yes.
I love you.
Did you finish both your drinks?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm a fast drinker.
Holy macanoli.
To all of you out there, again, thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe. Tell your friends and family about it. If you're interested in us covering a movie that is important to you, or you just want us to shout out something like that, please let us know. Or
you want to come talk about a movie with us, come do that. We got an extra chair.
We're more than happy about it. I have a Zoom thing, so.
Or we have an extra chair.
Yeah.
Come out here and sit here.
You will not have my address.
Sit here right in front of this Morty towel.
If you show up without my permission, I will deport you.
I'll let you in.
She won't.
I don't lock the door.
use the back door. We never lock it. Also, there's guitars in the garage. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I'm Brandon.
Chelsea.
See you later.
Love you. Bye.
Love ya.